Well, hello, everybody. It's Mr. Wrighton, Mr. Mapes, and Mrs. Staub, and we are going to demonstrate how to do an upcoming little group project we're going to do called the Debate Team Carousel. We have not done this yet in English 11, and we wanted to before the coronavirus struck. In fact, Mr. Mapes and I had it all set up for the Monday we didn't come back to school. So we're going to show you. So this is what it looks like. And as normal, it'll be in Google Classroom. And the whole point of a debate team carousel is to get you to answer a question, give your opinion, use evidence with your opinion, and then the other people in the group, the second person needs to add a supporting argument, the third has to add an opposing argument, and then the fourth person, or you, depending, adds the two cents based on the rest of it. So we're going to start with this one. So I'm going to start, let's see here. The question is, was it necessary for Candy to let Carlson kill his dog? That's a tough question. Let's see. I'm going to say, okay, it was necessary for Candy to let Carlson kill his dog because the men in the bunkhouse, or the bulk house, and the bunkhouse were totally in favor of dying because she smelled bad and was too old. I'm going to say at least that's how it appeared to Candy. Okay, let's see. Evidence. Carlson said, dog no good to itself or anyone else. And other, we'll just leave it at that. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to share this document. Got to go up here, make sure all my my menu is up there, or whatever that thing is called. And I need to share this. I'm going to go, let's see. I think I'll share it with Mr. Mapes. I'll share it with you. Right. Sounds good. Okay, I'll start with you. So I'm going to go to share. I'm going to type in Mr. Mapes. Oh, look at that. It came right up. And then I'm going to send it to him. And Mr. Mapes should have access to that in just a moment. So that's what you guys will be doing too. So I'm going to stop sharing. All right.
And now, since I'm the second person, I'm going to take over the presenting to kind of show you that once things have been shared with you, I'll show you how to find them. So I know that in the past, you might have done something similar to this in a class where you've had to share something or had to find things that were shared with you. But I'm going to show you exactly kind of how you do it. So what you're going to do, because I'm going to start from scratch, is you're going to open up a window and you're going to go in to your drive. And once you have your drive open, it might pop up right up at the top because it's probably something that just happened. But if it hasn't, you can click on this little Shared With Me tab, and then that will bring up all the other things that maybe other people have shared with you. And you'll just find, the one that we're looking for, and it'll kind of look like this Debate Team Carousel. So you're going to open that up. And then as the second person, now it's your turn to type into the second box, which is, the supporting argument. So you're going to read what your classmate wrote, and then in this box, add another piece of evidence to support what your classmate's saying. Now, we know that there's a lot, a lot in this book in terms of evidence. So we are going to give you guys a little bit of a break. Instead of having to find exactly word for word quotes from the book with page numbers, more if you just reference what it actually is that you're talking about, we'll accept that. So I'm going to go back through. I'm going to look at what Mr. Wrighton wrote. So he wrote, it was necessary for Candy to let Carlson kill his dog because the men in the bunkhouse were totally in favor of Candy's dog dying because it smelled bad and was too old. And then a little piece of evidence to back it up is that at least that's how Candy, or at least how that appeared to Candy. Carlson said the dog was no good to itself or anyone else. So now I'm going to add another piece of evidence that would support that same claim that yes, Candy needed to let Carlson put the dog down. Now, the second piece I'm going to say is I'm going to bring up a character, another character, Slim, had a lot of power over the other workers' thoughts regarding decisions that were made on the ranch. So that's my other statement, that there's this guy Slim who has a lot of power over kind of what's being decided. And I'm going to add another little piece to it, that Slim was viewed by all on the ranch as the final word on tough choices. When the topic of putting Candy's dog down, some agreed that this was the correct choice, and that Candy should put the dog down. Okay. So now I've typed that in there, and this is the second box, which again supports the first claim. Mr. Eichen said yes, he needed to put the dog down. I supported it with another piece of evidence that, you know, not only did a lot of people agree that it stunk, you had this character Slim who really had a lot of authority, and he made that choice. Once Slim made that choice, it was kind of set in stone. So now what I'm going to do is I've got what I typed in here. I'm going to go up, and just like the first person, you're going to click on share, and you're going to pick someone else in your group to share it with. In this case, I'm going to share it with Mrs. Staub. I'm going to type in here. And if you want to put a little note on there, please complete box number 3, just in case. But really, once you open it up, you should be able to see what still needs to be done on it. And then I'm going to send it to Mrs. Staub. And then I am going to stop sharing so she can kind of demo again how to bring up for box 3.
Okay, so once that is done, now it's my turn, and I'll be filling out box 3. So I will go and I will open up. Am I sharing, guys?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, there we go. I will open up my drive, hopefully.
Yep, you're good now.
Okay.
Got it.
So I will open up my drive. If anybody has slow internet, then this is what it will look like for you.
I do.
So again, it should pop up right here, but you can also click on the shared with me tab, and that will make sure that comes up, because sometimes things in my drive, there's like 8 billion things depending on how many classrooms that you're in and what's posted for the day. So if you go to shared with me, it's thinking. There it is. And then our third box is going to be the counter argument. So I have to take a look at box 1 and box 2. So as we know, box 1 talked about how it was okay that Candy let Carlson kill his dog because he's old, he smelled bad. Supporting evidence was, Slim on the ranch, he had all those final words on the tough choices, and he agreed with it, so they should have gone along with it. So in my opposing argument, I need to write something that kind of goes against what was written here. So I want to write that Candy really probably shouldn't have let Carlson kill his dog, because that's going against what Mr. Iton put. Candy shouldn't have let Carlson kill his dog because he had the dog for so long. He should have killed it. Or I guess I don't want to put kill because I already wrote kill. Should have put it down himself.
Good call.
And hopefully my typing will catch up with my internet. Put the dog down himself. Okay, kind of an argument. Mr. Iton put it was okay. Mr. Mapes put in some supporting evidence that said it was okay. Now my counter argument is, hey, that's not okay. Candy shouldn't have let Carlson kill his dog because he had that dog for so long. He should have put the dog down himself. It wasn't somebody else's responsibility. If we were continuing on, I would go up to my share button and I would share with my fourth person, which I'm not going to do right now since we don't have a fourth person. But that last box is add your 2 cents. Actually, I'm sorry. Sorry, my daughter is talking. Hopefully you don't have people talking in your background. That fourth box is going to go back to the original person. So I would share this with Mr. Iton. I would. He's going to then be able to take a look at what people have written. I do recommend sharing it back to the original person instead of just having them go and find it in their drive, because it will pop up in that shared with me. So they'll know that they are able to fill in their 2 cents. So you're going to look at if I give this back to Mr. Iton, he's going to look at what's in those 3 boxes, and then he's going to add to his 2 cents. Is that how we want to do it, guys?
Yep. One other thing that I was thinking that we forgot to mention was we would like you to put your name next to your comment so we know who was typing. We can go back through and we can look and figure it out, but we really would just like you, if you just want to put, like how Miss Staub's writing there, she's going to put her name and then what her response is. That way we get a better idea of who did what. It'll be a little bit easier.
And if you happen to forget that, like we just did, you can always go back and add in your name at any point. So this 2 cents, like maybe Mr. Iton changes his mind after he looks at mine and says, you know what, Mrs. Staub is right. Candy probably should have put the dog down himself. You can write that in your 2 cents, or you can go back and say, no, my opinion is right, and here's why. It does say to put evidence in, so make sure you're doing that though too.
Why don't I do that?
I'm going to stop presenting so that way Mr. Iton can be back on full screen.
I'm going to present one more time. You know what occurred to me too as I wrote that? I was kind of doing it under the gun on trying to figure out, and I'm like, and after seeing what Mr. Mapes wrote and Mrs. Staub wrote, I'm like, I'm not thrilled with what I put in the first place, but that's good. It's showing me that I could do more. And I encourage you to take some time to try to make this sound good, because you are sharing it not just with us, but also with your classmates. Okay, so I've got my original statement, which I'm a little bit unimpressed with now. I like how Mr. Mapes added to that about Slim. I hadn't thought about Slim because he really was. I remember Steinbeck said he had godlike eyes. I remember that. That struck me. And then Mrs. Staub came back with Candy shouldn't let Carlson kill his dog because he had the dog for so long. He should have put the dog down himself. Well, that's interesting as I think about this, because after Candy realized that he could have this home with Lenny and George, all of a sudden it was like a moment of clarity. And I'm going to write this down, actually. When Candy was included in the dream of George and Lenny, suddenly realized he had made a pressured or hasty decision, say about his dog, so we put it in context there. Pressure, hasty decision about his dog. After he realized he could live on his own place, he told George, I shouldn't, and I'm not sure if this is an exact quote, but I'm going to put quotes around it anyway. We're not requiring you guys to actually find direct quotes from the book. You're welcome to if you want to. I should not to have let no stranger shoot my dog. Sure, he says George or not. He says, I should have shot that dog myself. So the process is interesting. Mrs. Stubbs, I felt vindicated by Mr. Mapes, and Mrs. Staub brings up this other argument. I was like, huh. And it ended up making me reevaluate my position, my initial position about, yeah, Candy did the right thing because all the guys said it was the right thing to do. And now I realize maybe he should have killed his own dog himself. So that's what I've got. Anything you guys want to add?
No, just if you have any questions, just make sure to leave a comment, and one of us can come in and check it out for sure.
Yeah, and we understand that this is something new, but we think that it's something that can kind of be fun with you guys. If you are with your, texting with your friends, you can ask them, say, hey, I need to share this with someone. Can I share it with you? Or, there's the whole purpose of this is to get you talking about, the issue and debating kind of these heavy issues. So for this exact example, we did for killing Candy's dog, but the one that you're going to receive is about whether or not George had to kill Lenny. So again, it will have a different question. The question won't be about Candy's dog. It'll be about George killing Lenny. Spoiler, if you weren't in our class and you did not know, George kills Lenny. And again, like that's the choice that you've got to debate. Was that the right thing to do? Was that the only option he had? Did he have to kill Lenny? Or no, he could have, they could have gone a different way. But again, this is, our first attempt at this. So just try your best. Remember, we're looking more that you're including for your evidence, like of things that happened in the story, not exact direct quotes. So don't be afraid and don't feel like you got to hunt through the book to find the exact page number. Just put down there what kind of happened in the story, and that will count for you.
Okay. I think we're going to stop presenting. We want to thank you guys for watching, and very soon in Google Classroom, you'll see your own carousel, team carousel to share with your friends. So, bye, everybody.
Bye.
And thanks, Mr. Mapes, Mrs. Staub. Thank you, guys.
See ya.
You're welcome.
Bye.